Hey, this is Rob with Jupiter Electric Bikes. In this video, we're going to walk through changing the tire on your Jupiter bike. Changing the front flat tire on an electric bike is no different than changing the front flat tire on a regular bike. So in this example, we're going to use the rear tire, which requires a few extra steps. The tools we will need is an 18-inch wrench, a snipping tool, a 5mm Allen key, and a pump. You can find replacement tubes in the parts and accessories section on our jupiterbike.com website. First, switch to the smallest cog on the wheel, which will give you the most chain slack. Next, we're going to flip the bike over. This will make removing the rear wheel easier. Make sure you put the handlebars on a towel or something soft so it won't scratch the LCD. Snip the zip ties, securing the motor wire to the chainstay on the frame. Unplug the motor cable, pulling the thicker plastic area near the connection, and release the cable from the bracket. Pull the rubber boot off the derailleur side axle. Using the 18mm wrench, loosen both axle nuts. Pull up and forward to remove the wheel. Be mindful of the chain. With the rear wheel off the bike, removing the tire will be no different than a regular bike. We'll need to fully deflate the tube by pressing down on the valve with the Allen key and squeezing out any extra air. Using the tire levers, get one bead off the rim. You can start at any location except for the valve. Pull back and lift the bead out of the rim. Insert the second tire lever several inches down from the first one and slide the tire lever along the rim to unseat the rest of the bead. Release the bead on the other side, then remove the tire and tube off of the rim. This is a good time for you to inspect the tire and rim for damage. If there's an object stuck in the tire, remove it. If the tire's casing has a rip in it, then you need to replace the tire as soon as possible. To install the new tire, partially inflate the tube just enough for it to take shape and install it into the tire. Insert the valve into the rim, making sure it's straight. Work one bead at a time into the rim. Work the other bead into the rim, making sure you're not pinching the tube between the tire and rim. Only when necessary, use tire levers to finish the bead installation. When using tire levers, be careful not to pinch the inner tube. Before inflating the tire, make sure that the bead is uniform around the rim edge and make sure that the tube is not sticking out from under the tire anywhere. To reinstall the wheel, we'll follow the previous steps only in reverse. Align the chain on the smallest sprocket first, then mount the wheel, making sure the brake rotor is between the brake pads. First install the derailleur guard, then the axle nuts, and finally the rubber boot. Put the motor cable through the brackets, then reconnect the motor wire by lining up the arrows and firmly pressing the connector together. And now you're ready to ride. You can get additional resources at our support site, support.jupiterbike.com. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel to see the latest videos from Jupiter Bike.